morning.
Good morning.
My name is Naren Shah. I'm a managing editor at Metro Rail News. We have with us today Mr. Pankaj Rastogi. He is a Chief Executive Officer at Protecon BTG. In our one-to-one interview session, in this session, audience can get a chance to interact with the industry leaders. So, if anyone have any questions, please write it on the comment box. We'll take your question at the end of this interview. Mr. Rastogi is an IIT Roorkee Alumni, accomplished Toastmaster and a visionary leader, possesses 35 plus year of rich experience and diversify with companies like EIL in India, Qatar Petroleum, Petrofec International Limited in Oman, and HPCL, Mittal Energy Limited, India, and so on. He has been associated with several projects of major national and international companies in India, like and also in Iran, Algeria, Qatar, Japan, Tunisia, UAE, Oman, Chile, Brazil, Indonesia, and Egypt. So I would like to say thank you for sharing your precious time, Mr. Rastogi, with us for this one-to-one interview session.
Thank you, Narendra.
So I will start with my first question, right? So project management consulting is a very much similar to a project management consultant or general consultant or engineer's role on the project. Do you see with the statement and do you agree with the statement? Also, please share your elaborative view on this and the challenges of PMC in current environment.
All right. Okay. So let me start it with this. Okay. The project management consulting to project management contract. Okay. It is somewhat, the relationship is like the juice within a fruit. The project management contract is the contractual agreement between the project management consulting organization and its customers. Okay. So basically, the owners are delegating their own role for the unbiased or third of the opinion of third party. They are looking for the expertise. So they engage a PMC or a general consultant or engineer. And like any other contract, the owner selects which type of contract is best suited for the project, and the term negotiate the term accordingly. All right. So these could be fixed rate contracts or cost reimbursable or any other type of contract. However, the services which are to be delivered within a contract, they would be termed as project management consulting. So that's how I put the relationship, that it is a juice within a fruit. The fruit could be of any kind. And the range of these consulting services will depend upon the scope of work within the contract. Coming to the challenges in the current environment, see that most of the project management consulting organizations currently are driven by the technical engineers only, and they forget the business part of management, which involves too many things. When we talk of project management, they have to be experts on the project management itself, planning, scheduling, monitoring, budgeting, invoice safety, dispute resolution, contract management, quality control, health and safety. All the factors have to be taken care by the project management consultant. So people think that by deploying the technical engineers, they can achieve all these functions, which is not true. And that becomes a challenge for any organization.
Okay. Also, tell us why customers or owners should consider you a different consultancy service?
See, we are different in several ways, and that's our USP. First of all, we only provide business part of the project management. We have to understand that we provide only business part of the project management consulting and leave the technical decisions to the engineers or the general consultants. Okay. Secondly, all our key officials have vast and rich international experience in the field of project management. And we bring the best international practices to the table, and that makes us very different. Thirdly, we have a deep understanding of various types of the contracts. I mean, by virtue of working internationally, we know what kind of contracts are applicable for which project and what favors a client. And that makes us unique in protecting the interest of the clients, because at the end of the day we have to protect the sanctity of the project targets and also the interest of the client. So these are some of the attributes which make us different. Additionally, there is something very unique to us. We have developed our own resources, and we continue to develop our own resources through a company program, which is our like business line, business vertical altogether. We call it Bridge the Gap program, BTG program. That is in collaboration with IIT Roorkee, and we train the young engineers to become project professionals. And till date, we have, you would be surprised that we have developed over 225 young engineers in the field of project management, and they are serving in various organizations nationally and internationally. Over 40 organizations they are employed. And what we try, that on our projects we try to use the in-house trained engineers, so we are aligned. They know exactly what we stand for, and our service is consistent and of highest quality. So that's what makes us different than others.
Okay, okay. So, what is the motto and mission of your company? How do you address increasing challenges in customized solution in successful project management consulting service in today's competitive market?
All right. So our vision and mission is very simple. Our vision is and mission is to become the most trusted project management consulting services across the world. And how do we do it? This is by adding the maximum and measurable value in each and every project or assignment we do. And how do we achieve it ultimately is by giving sincere attentiveness to the relationship which we forge with our clients. And we try to ingrain all these in our work habits. We don't just leave it to chance. I mean, it's not only on a paper. And with regard to our efforts to accomplish these, we strive hard to follow the best international practices. Every project we do, be it small or be it big, we try to bring the best practices prevailing in the world, be it project management or be it quality standards or be our even our own HR practices. We follow the best practices. And over the years, we have built an organization where people are motivated to work and they are motivated to give their best. I mean, one can talk to our engineers and they are our best ambassadors. And we are primarily system driven. We are system centric. And all our clients, satisfied clients, are a huge testimony for that excellence in our services. But we have also done something very special in recent times. We have partnered with Wrench Solution and we have developed a 100% digital project delivery management platform. This is the
Wow.
first of its kind. And this brings all the stakeholders involved in a project on a single platform. And this is a completely integrated project management information system, which is unique. I mean, we have several project management systems prevailing in the market, but this is the only one which is completely integrated. And since Protecon has a vast experience with the best practices, we bring the best experience, and we have tried to infuse all of it into this package. We call it a smart PMS.
Sir, project quality standards, final product, service specifications are essential component of any effective project plan today. What is your say in this regard? In what ways do you ensure quality service deliverables to your clients?
See, these are the basics of the effective project planning. Okay, whatever you have mentioned, these are the basics. Now any project plan has to encompass all the components in each in such a way that the that it captures the tiniest of the details of a project. I mean, we can't leave anything to chance. So these components need to be system driven. These need to be identifiable and measurable. Otherwise, I mean, we just do the things and without realizing where we are, or we might design something which cannot be measured. Now that's where we fail. Now, to ensure the quality of services, we never compromise on best practices. I keep on repeating this word best practices because that's the key and that's our USP. Now, at times, the clients may not fully understand the expertise which we bring to them. So, this becomes this is an onus to us to educate our clients as part of our services. So, wherever we go, not only that we handle the project, we also educate the clients that what they should be asking from us, what should they be asking from the contractors. And what we do is we treat each and every project and each and every client of ours with equal respect and thus deliver the best services to each project. Now, I would like to repeat that our in house systems and training programs always help us in delivering the highest quality. Whatever the project management services we provide, we are system driven and we are expertise driven in the sense we have the expertise and we are training people continuously and we deploy them to get the best out of everyone. So that's how we achieve our goals.
Okay. Uh, in a short span of time, Protecon BTG Private Limited has been bestowed with some important project like Mumbai Ahmedabad High Speed Rail project. And in what segment you are providing your services to India's first bullet train project?
Hmm. In fact, we have been very fortunate, and it's a great honor to be associated with the India's first bullet train project, which is Mumbai Ahmedabad High Speed Railway project. Now, let me
It's a
go back.
most
Yeah, it is the
it is the most ambitious. Yeah, it's the most
most
ambitious.
prestigious and the biggest project in the country at the moment.
Yes, yes.
Now, let me tell you something very interesting that what started as a support to their master implementation program, they came to us and they said that just help us with the help us in developing the master implementation program, and which we did. And this eventually evolved into a complete envelope of project services. So, from project planning point of view, we take care of complete project planning, scheduling, and monitoring of the project. Complete all the functions of this segment is with us. And for the cost part, we provide them all the corporate cost estimation and quantity surveying. We do the constructability, do the quantity analysis, and do the cost estimation for them. We also provide a very important support to them, that is in terms of the contract management. So, like the contract management as well as the contract execution segment, we provide them the services. So, we are also assisting the corporation. They are developing the management information system using Oracle's Unifer. So what we do is we provide all the technical requirement statement and the support to them because we are working on our smart PMS as it is. So, and we have the expertise as to what we should be asking for from a platform. So we provide that interface service between the NHS RCL and Oracle. So we are also providing that services to them.
Uh, Please tell us something about smart PMS and in what ways it is beneficial for the modern project management requirement.
I think it was an obvious question because I kept on mentioning smart PMS. So you had to ask what is this smart PMS. So that's okay. Let me explain what it is. So what happened? Like we had decided some time back to develop a platform to deliver the real time information, because we always struggle to do the things in only either Excel or doing things in Primavera, and kind of, so they were all disjointed. And anywhere in the world there is no platform which provides all these things in one platform. And we being the, like, all of us have been in the project management all our lives. I've been there for 40 years. Our The other senior people have been in this business for over 25 years. So all of us wanted that there should be a platform which includes everything on the same platform. So first we intended to develop it on our own, and we started it. And along the way, like, we started reviewing various things in the market, and we came across range solutions, and they're offering something similar but not a comprehensive thing. So what we did, we partnered with them, and we chose to white label a range technologies, the platform called Smart Project, and customize it to suit our requirement. Like, we kind of upgraded it to become the Smart PMS. So this is the background. So what does it do is the forecasting and target setting at the lowest level, the real-time project monitoring, the complete document management system, complete correspondence management system, and the best part is auto alerting, and the 24 by 7 mobile access to project information to all the stakeholders. I mean, to all the people whom we authorize, everybody will have access through their mobiles on this platform. Now, all this is provided on a single platform with different dashboards, with drill down facility for all the project management processes, for all the stakeholders. We have the progress photographs, date time is stamping. So this can be even used for certification. This can be used for the non-conformity reports or RFIs. It can be all raised through that. And then also it has something very unique, which is drone-based monitoring and integration with SAP and Primavera and with BIM. So these are all very modern facilities, and which we all have integrated in this Smart PMS. And with regard to the utility of it, that, see, we have to understand that the future belongs to managing the mega projects effectively within the minimum cost and optimum time. And that's the biggest challenge anytime with a mega project. Now, construction industry will significantly benefit from Smart PMS because it takes care of all the functions of the project management. And by using it, they can, like, do proper planning, scheduling, monitoring especially, and they can control their projects effectively. It will bring the best practices used in the major players in the country. Whatever the practices are prevailing in the world, they are available here, and they can implement them easily. So we hope that it will bring tremendous value to our clients' organization. We have started implementing it at several places already. So we'll see the fruits very shortly.
Okay. Today's consultancy services are very elaborative and need a vast array of compliances to be accomplished. Services like setting land dispute, end-to-end management of claims and arbitrations, etc., need to be addressed. Do you render your services in all these segments?
Okay, as I mentioned earlier, that our USP is that we provide business management part of the project management for every project need. For every project need. So a well thought out system provides the necessary checks and balances for all the compliances. That's one thing. Now, a simple example, which can be understood by all, a simple example is raising an alert when a document, suppose a document comes to a client and they have to respond it within a certain time. Okay. Now, the system should be able to raise an alert if we are defaulting on that time, because if the project has to complete in time, even in a timely manner. So this is the smallest of the example, that a system should be able to raise an alert Every time somebody is defaulting, every time there is a delay taking place, we should be able to capture it. We cannot ignore anything. So that's how we work. Now, coming to the settlement, the timely settlement of all the disputes and claims as we move along the project. I mean, that is the best way to keep a project on track. That only will ensure that project remains dispute free. It's never a good idea to keep all the, like, this is something which happens in an Indian scenario all the time, that we keep on procrastinating and keep on parking all the disputes and claims for the end, that we would settle it later, we would settle it later. And that's never a good idea. Settle it, handle it as and when it occurs, as and when it appears. So that's something very important. With regard to the setting of the land disputes, we actually don't get directly involved into the monetary compensations and the legal aspects. As I said, that we are into the project management consultancy. Having said that, we do assist in setting up the realistic targets for the land acquisitions. I mean, in most of the projects, you would see that they say that they're acquiring the land, but with no set targets. But for example, for the bullet train project, we did set the targets. Of course, they are likely to fail sometimes, depending, because there are external agencies involved in that. But we have set the realistic targets for them, the process for them, and we are continuously monitoring them. And we also dovetail this information into the related project activities, because the work has to progress based on the available land. So we dovetail it
Yes.
into our project planning as well. Now, with regard to the management of the claims, we design a complete, comprehensive claim management system. And that is done right in the beginning of the project. And then it is run through the project and through the entire life of the project. Now, see, we have to understand this again. I'm telling this again, that that is the best way to have an arbitration free closure of the project.
Perfect. Yes. Yes.
Because if you do not handle it, they would be all parked and they would become a big chunk. And eventually, that's how, like, all the clients and contractors go into arbitration. So if you
Yes.
want to have an arbitration free closure of the project, you should handle them continuously. So we provide services in all those. We set up the systems, claim management system and dispute resolution systems. And we also, eventually, if it has to go into the arbitration, we also stand as expert witnesses during the arbitration proceedings. And we also have a liaison with a legal company to provide the legal support to them, because we are not a legal company. So the legal support is provided by the legal company. We have a liaison. We are not partners with them, but we have a
Mhm.
liaison with a legal company.
Okay. Okay. So, which major problem do you face with most of the project in India? Uh, what can be a proper solutions to ensure timely completion of the projects, which is undoubtedly a primary concern for the Indian projects?
Okay. I may sound very harsh on this particular aspect, okay? But the biggest problem we face in most projects in India is the lack of understanding about the project management function in the owner's organization. This is the biggest challenge we face. Most of them are not aware about the prevailing practices of business management. So what happens, like, whatever we bring to the table, they don't understand it. So as a result, they end up writing very poor or one-sided contracts. I mean, starts from there, that the contracts which are formulated are are quite arbitrary at times. I mean, and they become very difficult to handle or to implement. And there is a complete lack of appreciation for the various stakeholders. I mean, there would be some small players in the project, and we try to undermine them, but we need to accord due respect to all of them. Now, this is something which is the biggest challenge. Now, apart from implementing the right project planning and a very robust system for project monitoring, the proper solution to ensure timely completion of the project is to draft the contracts as per international standards. and they should be fair to both the parties, to all the parties involved. They cannot be one sided. So what my point here is that there has to be a culture of project orientation, and there is a need to recognize that every player is equally important for the success of the project. It's a collective project, is a collective entity. It's not that only client owns it. There are various stakeholders, and they are all working towards the success of the project. So we have to recognize that. So that's the message I would like to give here.
Okay. Coming to my next question. Please tell us something about LG methodologies, a term we often come across in a project consultancy services. Is there any project you are using this technology working presently?
Okay. Agile methodologies are like is a common term which is prevailing in the market these days, but it is these are primarily used and aimed for the software development projects. This is this technology, these methodologies are very useful in an environment where the requirement is continuously evolving or changing with the time. Like the clients are not sure that eventually what product they want, so as they go along the way they find new things. So the agile methodologies are able to take care of those changes as they go along the way, and also they are able to deliver the big projects in smaller chunks. For example, in a software you say, okay, we'll deliver this module, we'll deliver this module, deliver this module. So we typically don't use agile methodologies in the large construction projects. Why? We rather go by a very structured waterfall approach. That's how they call it, by developing a comprehensive work breakdown structure, because the scope of work is normally very well defined in the large construction projects. They are not like moving the targets. Because they are moving the target, their investments will change in the infrastructure. In the software development projects, what is the investment? It is only the manpower. There is no, you are not buying anything. So as a result, the investment is far more less as compared to the large construction projects. So here, like if I'm changing my requirement midway, I'm wasting a lot of material which I might have already bought. So that's why we don't apply agile methodologies to the large construction projects. We go as per the very comprehensive work breakdown structure on a reasonably accurate project scope. We need to understand that large construction projects involve huge capex, and hence we normally follow a very gated approach from concept to commissioning. We don't go by ever changing the requirement of in the project, or we are not evolving the project along the way. We have a concept, we have a feed, we have a detailed engineering, we have the construction and commissioning. So we have separate segments in the construction projects, and that's why we typically don't use agile methodologies.
Uh, Please tell us something about your master implementation program and project recovery services, citing major accomplishment, if any.
Okay. In fact, we can certainly boast about it. We have a team of expert planning project planners and strategists. So before we develop the master implementation program, what we typically do is we typically get to the bottom of the scope of project. We study the execution. Either we develop or we study the execution methodologies, contracting strategy, organization structure. So we study all that, and that's how we like develop the work breakdown structure. And now this forms a basis for running the constructability studies, the productivity analysis, because all these things, they form the basis of developing an effective project planning master implementation program. Once these are developed, then we develop a comprehensive master implementation program, and we do it with complete resources loaded on it, so that we don't leave anything to chance. Now we have developed the master implementation program for several projects, and of course, most notably, I mean, which we did recently was for Mumbai Ahmedabad high speed railway, the bullet train project. So this is one of the most challenging tasks because it's a huge project involving enormous amount of money, and it has several interfaces. We included all of it into one master integration program. Now, with regard to the recovery services, that is very interesting. I mean, we have to do all of these, but at certain point, like if a project is slipping, we enter into between, do the post-mortem, and then try to recover, try to develop a plan so that we can recover the project in a reasonable time. We cannot ensure that the project can be recovered to the same targets as they were set before, but whatever the reasonable time is, we assess that and advise our clients. So whatever the first we check whatever the current status is, whatever the prevailing delays are, and what are the underlying causes of these delays, and thereafter we come up with a detailed program so as to complete the remaining work on time. And we do it with the reasonable targets, and we do all this with the completely resourced and leveled schedules. With regard to these project recovery schedules, we recently worked with rights. We worked on IRCON projects which were delayed substantially, and we developed the recovery schedules for them. And in fact, rights projects have been completed. IRCON projects are underway.
What has been the success rate of dispute resolution and construction claims for your organization? Do you match international standards as well?
We are very fortunate that our success rate for the dispute resolution and construction claims has been more than favorable, I would say. It has been nearly 100%. We have provided services to some national companies as well as international clients, and we have secured success for all our clients. Incidentally, we do not only match the international standards. Please remember, we do better than that because we provide a complete comprehensive package. Because we provide services on time related matters, cost related matters, and even on technical matters. And as I mentioned before, that we stand as expert witness in front of the team of arbiters. We have done that for many of our clients. That we go as technical experts and defend our case. So so we have done that, and we are very much used to do that. And that's a special area which we have developed for ourselves. There is no company in our country, at least, that who does all these as an entity.
Uh, Sir, please share your views about Metro Rail news. Any message to our readers?
I'm a very keen reader of Metro Rail news,
Thank you.
and I'm associated quite closely with it now. In fact, I must say I've written few articles for them. So Metro Rail News is actually doing a great job in providing the updates on all the happenings in the field of rail industry, which is, I mean, I don't think there's any other platform which does that. So it not only provides the updates on the latest happenings, latest projects undertaken by various railways. The best part which I like about it is that it provides all the news about the developments taking place in terms of technologies, in terms of the like support to the project management or development across the world, which can be used by the Indian railway industry. And
Thank you.
and my simple message to the readers would be, please keep feeding to the news, because the Metro Rail news would benefit a great deal with your input. So please keep feeding all the things which you are doing in your projects, in your professional life. So keep feeding that so that that becomes a news, and then we can collectively benefit from it. And I sincerely wish a grand success to Metro Rail News for the coming years.
Thank
You
you.
are
Thank
doing
you
a
so
great
much.
job. Continue to do so.
Thank you so much for your really kind words. It means a lot for us, and it is encouraging for Metro Rail News team as well. Now we are moving to our audience questions as well. So there is a question. This one, Mr. Parsnath, why India is facing in keeping standard in civil engineering sector, particularly site engineers facing more problem.
See, we have to understand one thing that I mean, especially you, since you mentioned site engineering facing problems. See, we have to understand that what is lacking there. We run a BTG program. Why? Because what there is, we have to recognize that there is a gap between what is taught in the institutes and what is required by the industry. Now, any company which deploys any civil engineer or any engineer for that matter directly on the site, now that engineer is not directly usable. So there is a need of so-called skill development for all the engineers. Now, either it is done as part of the curriculum or it has to be done as a crash course or a structured training program. Now, then only the engineers would be employable and useful to the industry. Industry does not have patience to bring the new engineers and train them. I mean, where is the time to do that nowadays? Gone are the days when the projects used to run for 5 years, 6 years. Now every project has a challenging target. So as a result, what happens that, I mean, you mentioned civil engineering. In fact, I would like to say that it is happening on all the core engineering sectors,
Yes, yes.
like be it civil, mechanical, electrical, chemical engineers, instrumentation engineers. For all the engineers, the challenges are same. So
There,
all the
there is a
industry,
there is a skill gap. There is a skill gap
there is a skill gap. Now,
which needs to be addressed because
yes,
we did our engineerings, and after that when we go for the job they ask for the skill, and we pay a lot our colleges and all. So why
yes,
we are not able to get that skill which is required to work in the field?
yes. So there is a lack of interaction between the industry and the institutes. I mean, that 2 months industrial training doesn't do anything. And sorry to say, I mean, most of the times those trainings don't even take place. I mean, they just get a certificate. They hardly go undergo the training. So there is a huge need of a skill development program. So it can be done concurrently with the institutes, only if the institutes are interested in that.
And Protecon can help in that case as well, right?
We have developed the courses for other skill development also, but we have
Mhm.
not started those programs as yet. We have done for
Mhm.
construction supervisors, we have done for inspectors, we have developed several programs. We are yet to launch them.
Mhm. And how Protecon DG can help the major player of in consulting engineering like consulting engineer group or maybe the Tata consulting engineers and etc. so on. How you can help them?
See, we are already training. If we have a business vertical, as I mentioned, that we are training the young engineers to become the project professionals or project planners or the cost estimators, contract engineers, procurement engineers. So all the project management functions, we are training them. And all of these are being hired by various companies like TCE has them, Tata Projects has them, Jacobs has them. I mean, you name the company and everywhere our trained people are there and they're doing a great job.
Oh,
Al- Apart from this, we also provide the structured training to the corporates also.
oh wow.
Yeah. So we provide the trainings to the, suppose they already have a internal department. So we train the people in their organization. So we call it the corporate training.
Mhm.
So we help them in both the ways. I mean, we can supply them we supply them the trained people from our organization, and then also we provide the training to them.
And I must say, this session was very informative for me as well as I hope so for my audience as well. And very insightful knowledge you shared with us. Thank you so much for your precious time and efforts. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Naren, for this opportunity, and I'm happy to be here and good to share the views with the young people. I see that there are a lot of young participants in the
Yes.
in the live show, so which is good. So I hope people got benefited in some way, and let's have more association in future with all. And
Yeah,
wish you
yeah.
all the best, Metro Rail News as well as the participants.
Thank you. Thank you.